Was this a flashback? No, he's a part of that same crew. Oh, you know what? They're probably going to say what happened. So there was him and her. She was a botanist, it seems. Or really an herbalist at the same time. Her making medicine and everything. Oh, look, she's seasoning the food. Wait a second. What? Did that shit cook it?
I think there's more to this planet than we realize.
Oh, he was the first.
Create real sustainability here.
Let's get some rest. There's always tomorrow.
So he was the first. But then, how did he get it though?
What's all that for?
One day he started bringing in something different. Hey, bro, you good over here?
What are you doing in here?
Literally making a den.
We need to get closer to the environment. We need to become one with this place.
It's crazy how this was fucked up before, but how everything is just turning more and more into a horror as we go along in this world.
Aren't you gonna eat?
This
It's
food
not hungry.
is making me feel sick.
It's like the same thing when Sam was like,
This water tastes weird to you?
you gonna spit up a seed? And you put it in her. It's already attached to him. That's when it was smaller. Oh, it got huge fast. But since he probably just put the seed in her already, he didn't want to kill her. It's crazy how they have a symbiotic relationship like that. It's attached to you to that extreme.
No. What happened to you?
Same thing that happened to you. That same flower. And that's when she carved John in. She whittled away at that entire tree. But I wonder why, I was kind of wondering why it took so long for her, but maybe it was just, I don't know. With her, she was just living an everyday normal life, and then she just kept, I don't know. You don't really know the whole digestion. How do you say it? Fuck, I don't know why. All that medical time that I had, I can't say it. But anyways, for it to incubate, just another word for it. Like, did it take a long time for it to do that? Or is it only when, like, you actually spit the seed up? Is it really truly growing in you?
Don't touch that.
And then you start, like, having it just outside of you?
Your breathing is abnormally slow and your pulse is barely detectable. But this thing inside of you appears to be thriving.
Thriving? On what?
On you. It's a parasite.
Why don't I just rip it out?
It's on your heart.
And if you pull it out, you might die.
But I feel okay, really.
If you make it to the Demeter, maybe you might have the tools.
How do I know I can trust you?
Ask me anything.
Okay, what was the first thing you said to me when we stepped foot on this planet?
I asked you if I should have stayed up there, because I felt like I abandoned my crew.
Can you tell me something about your life before the mission?
Like what?
Anything. An experience or memory that comes to mind.
Oh, we're actually getting...
I'm on an island somewhere. I'm looking for something. I'm running towards a juniper tree, sitting under the tree, waving at me. Sarah, my girlfriend.
Yeah, Sarah was looking kind of thick, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we took a trip together before I left. But we had to break it off because, well, you know.
I don't know if I could leave them cheeks. Not
I
just.
take you for the romantic type, Sam.
You find that hard to believe?
No, I don't find it hard to believe. You just never mentioned it.
It's a sore spot.
You seem okay enough. Let's keep an eye on this, and we can get it taken care of when we get to the medical facilities on the Demeter.
Exactly. Like, you might wake up a doctor or something. Shit, you're so full of life, you can make it there in 5 minutes. Like, goddamn, I'll be running out there, bro.
It's a rock!
We can't make it over. We're gonna have to find another way. Do you want to try north or south?
We're gonna go the most direct route.
Over it.
Chris, maybe we should just take a second to think this over. We haven't had time to process what happened to Terrence, and I don't think he would want us making a rash decision because of that.
Well, thanks for letting me know what you think Terrence would have wanted.
I'm sorry.
I know you've had a lot of close calls on this place that have left you scared. I get it. But if you want, I can show you how to never be scared again. Barry!
What we can do? Launch him up? Yeah. He probably sets the mark. Hey, I mean, Ozzy's in the training arc. Watch them all die, and it's just Ozzy left. I've been trained by 1,000 people. Levi was the first. Oh, the fuck is that?
What is that?
I'm not sure, but they're not moving. Let's get closer. It's just their shells. Oh, they must have molted and left them here.
Gestation. That's the word I was thinking of. Just gestation period.
Looks like we're gonna have to get past these mountains one way or another.
Yeah, but this is the thing about it too. Like, it's a parasite and stuff, so it needs that. So I'm like, did it just pop up on her all those years later? Like, use it as a boat? This show is nothing but ingenuity. Oh.
It wasn't your fault, you know.
What wasn't my fault?
I think they just want to move past it, Ozzy.
I just wish I could have helped him. He was my best friend. I should have told him that.
I think he knew.
Climb with your feet. Keep them quiet. Place them correctly and shift your weight down all in one move.
This is what I'm saying. It's like, damn, are both of them gonna die? And then it's just Ozzy. This is the 50th person that's trained me.
One of me is a rock climber. Maybe I can use your tips to impress her.
Who's Mia?
Mia's one of the other passengers on my ship.
What's she like?
She's thoughtful, kind, funny.
Is she cool like you?
Yeah, I'd say she's pretty cool.
Okay. I have to meet her then.
Remember, up here we have to rely on each other. That trust can be the difference between life and death.
Copy that.
You, me, and Barry. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
This next leg is gonna be the real test. We're gonna have to freeze solo. Barry will go first and find the best path. You and I will follow.
I'll follow your lead.
That's what I like to hear.
Fall in line. And that was kind of what they established from the beginning, right? Whoever lasts the longest, that's who gets to command this entire thing.
The soil here is dead. I felt the change as we were floating down the river. Nothing could grow here, but look. These crystal structures poke through and part the soil and climb towards the sky to create a home for whatever those things are. My feeling right now is that I am that soil.
What is... God, that's a long-ass tell. I mean, he's like part plant. It's like he has like a plant parasite in him. It makes sense. Like, it tries to find the suitable place for it to be its habitat, right? So it can feed off of him and also just kind of like coexist in that environment. So it makes sense that he can understand the changes in like soil and like the air quality and the water. Like he said, doesn't the water taste a little funny? Wow, sacks of fluid with...
They're harmless. Keep moving.
Bitch, you don't know what anything is in this environment. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Smacked in the face, yep. I just knew it. Damn. This is not the time to play this sort of game, bro. Like,
If there's anything else you have to let go, let it go now.
Are you fucking crazy? Pull me up!
Past fears and attachments only get in the way. Think about what you want to bring with you going forward.
Helping you helps me. But if you ever pull that shit again, you're gonna get a stark fucking reminder of what fear is.
hey, she had to put that out there.
You don't seem to realize when we get to your ship, no one's gonna be there. Your friends are already dead.
No, I mean, they're alive. Sam is fast as fuck, boy. He already gonna be there. Yeah, they traveling down water and shit. They already gonna be there, bro. It makes me think that this entire season is gonna end with them finally getting to the Demeter. Like, fucking whirlpool. God. I mean, whirlpool would create so much downward thrust. There's no way they can even get up. Oh. Come on, Sam. You a fucking plant, bro. You should be good. Help her out. As I say, we're gonna see it. Oh, it's one of them. And their long ass tails. I didn't really think about it. One went by water, one went by land, like on the mountains. They're all in the same spot though. Same area.
I want you to know, Ozzy, we're doing this for our people. The equipment and valuables on that ship will make a real difference for our colony.
Yeah, I'm doing this for my people too. Like,
I'm just nervous it's too late, Barry.
Don't be nervous. Nervous climbers fall. That's another tip you can tell her.
Maybe. Thanks again for helping me today.
she's like, ew, all these emotions. Two opposing sides, Barry stuck in the middle. Oh no, no, he's gonna give her the seed. No. So yeah, when you spit out the seed, it's ready to progress. It's ready to jump out your fucking chest. And it controls you to essentially put it into someone else. Get that shit away from me. What you about to do, bro?
Hey, oh, I'm so happy you made it.
But that's the second one he produced. Yeah.
Sam, what were you about to do?
She noticed.
What were you gonna do, Sam?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Ay, ay. This. Oh no! Is this traveling to the Demeter also? We're gonna have a war at the end of this goddamn season. Like, this versus everybody. They seize the fucking thing. Yep, it's following them. It is on some bullshit. Hey. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have this fight with it. Like, is it gonna be before the Demeter or something? I assume that this thing is gonna die. Whatever, you know. Cayman's Pokemon is most likely gonna die, but then Cayman's gonna come out reborn or some shit, like, because it's like incubating. He's like incubating inside of it and everything. So I assume that Cayman's going to come out with like some psychic powers or something, some sort of like he's integrated with this, or he's like part human, part whatever this animal is at this point in time, right? So interesting to really have really all this. I mean, the whole entire show is interesting. Let's not even lie to ourselves about this right here. So we get to see this parasitic plant creature, I assume. Like it seems so much like a cross because of how much of alive it is. Like it is a creature, but at the same time it's very plant-like. It just seems like a living plant. That's all it is. It has an eye to see and stuff like that, so it seems like a cross in between the two. We got to see, of course, things that happened in the past, but it's interesting of how long this lady had it inside of her before it essentially jumped out of her body and stuff. So she was just keeping it contained with her that entire time, and then when they showed up, it became something much bigger. I don't know if it does it when there's like another thing that it can, you know, spread, you know, to another thing, if it can jump into another host body. I don't know if that's the whole reason that it does that, right? Like, oh, I don't really start, you know, activating until there's another host body that I can kind of jump into. That's what it seems like, because she was by herself that entire time for all those years. Let's just say 50 years or whatever, because, you know, she's looking like she was in her 20s or early 30s. So let's just say it takes 50 years or whatever until they get there. She's kept it in there for all that time, right? She's 60s, 70s, whatever. Maybe 50 was a little bit too much when I'm actually thinking about it. But either way, she kept it on her that entire time without it being some sort of complication. But when they got there, all of a sudden she spits up a seed, and then she was acting normal, but then all of a sudden she's attached to it, and she just seems like some sort of zombie creature. Her eyes were glowing and stuff. So I'm guessing that you have to have another host there for it to kind of like spread to another thing. That way it can kind of just pop out your chest and just feed on you and just stay there in its little domain at that point in time, and it'll just coexist like that with you, just basically being its nutrients and stuff, while a new version of it is, you know, its offspring is in some other individual doing the same thing and just going over and over and over and over and stuff. Really interesting. Of course, the stuff with Ozzy, we already knew that there was going to be some sort of friction between these two characters, especially when she tried to pull that bullshit. Like, I understand that she's like, oh, you know, something's holding you back, you need to stop this. This goes into what was happening with Ozzy before, how she kind of like closes herself in, and she even made it like a, you know, a marker of that she usually keeps things within herself, because she's a very introverted type of person. We saw that before when it had the flashback, and she's like, oh, you're gonna come to the party, and Ozzy was just like, maybe. With that maybe is a no, you know. It's kind of like talking to your parents and stuff, and they'd be like, oh, can we do that? I'll think about it. Now I'll think about it will always be no. So we know that she's more introverted. The other chick is just kind of being like, oh, you gotta leave that shit in the past, you gotta move forward. But she's going about it the wrong way. I appreciate that Ozzy checked her, like, right off the bat, like, look, you pull that shit again, I'm gonna make you remember fear. Like, oh, Ozzy. Like, there obviously seems like she's probably gonna get the boot at that point. Maybe even Barry, who knows? Where it's like they do help Ozzy to some extent move past that sort of trauma with Levi and everything. Probably even help with this monster, but you know, I think that they might get folded. Barry might stay around. That's how I'm kind of thinking. The other chick's gonna get folded, Barry will stay around, Ozzy will be there. Sam looks like he's about to get folded. Ursula will probably be there, and then we'll, like, you know, let some people out or whatever. Cayman's probably gonna be coming out newborn, fucking super mutant and shit. It's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that goes into here. Of course, environments, all so unique. Even when it's just something that's more or less like a forest structure, it still keeps being more and more unique. It's interesting to see Sam, though. Sam, I think, is the most interesting one of this, because of the fact that we're actually seeing, like, in the previous episode, him drinking the water. Doesn't this taste funny? And then you see him being more connected with the environment around him, how he's talking about how, oh, the soil's no good here. Yeah. I could feel it. I could feel that it's no good here. But these structures are, you know, leading up to the sky for whatever these things are. It's actually helping them out at the end of the day. Like, it's like him being so connected with this stuff because of the parasite within him. Like, it's controlling and shit. I don't know why she would really think like, hey, as long as you can tell me, you know, some memories that we have and stuff, it's got to be you. Like, I don't know why she rolled with that when it's quite literally him. Like, this isn't the clone situation that you dealt with before, right? If it's some new thing just created, which I was talking about when it came from memories and shit. Like, this thing is literally inhabiting Sam's body, so it would still have those memories there to kind of just, you know, fester off of, right? Also interesting that Sam is just having the complete opposite of what Cayman is having, and we know those things are like, those two butt heads. Cayman is literally inside of a whole nother creature, and he's incubating inside, basically being the parasite at that point in time, because you know babies are just giant parasites, not fetuses are giant parasites, but like, in a way it's something similar, while in Sam's case he has something feeding off of him also, and you know, it's about to pop out soon. He was about to get Ursula real quick. She noticed that bullshit. Even though she should have been distraught as fuck, she still noticed it. She's like, hey, wait a second, what the fuck were you about to do? We're really close to the Demeter. I'm trying to see how all this is going to go. Ozzy's situation is obviously going to have a problem, not just because of Cayman. So this thing is on this war path with all people for some apparent reason, just because I guess it wants to keep him so safe and secure through that entire time, and just be like, you're mine. But it's like, you're just doing too much. Like, you're just doing too much. Okay, just leave that bullshit alone. But this thing is on a war path at this point in time to kill any and all individuals that it possibly can, particularly just humans. That's all it's trying to do, is kill them, destroy their technology. It is on some bullshit. But either way, it's been pretty good for what we actually have at this point in time. So we're gonna have to see how all this is going to conclude. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace.